So no quality guests are going to want to go on Fresh and Fit's podcast anymore. So the quality of everything is going to drop. The quality of female guests, drop. The quality of the male guests, drop. You see what I'm saying? Quality of subs, drop.
Yeah.
So you're going to have the best damn studio and the worst everything else. So knock yourself out if that's what you want to do.
So let's go ahead and hear it from the man of the controversy himself, Ayinde the artist. Let's go ahead and say what's up. What's up, Ayinde?
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, people? Let me start off by saying hi to the lady. How you doing, Anna?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little upset that you never responded to my DM, but I DM'd you way back when you first had this issue. I said, "Oh my God, I gotta holler at this chick because I can corroborate this whole thing." But I shot you a DM like immediately when that shot off. What's up, D?
What's going on? Hey man, let me tell you this, Ayinde. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it because I know what that was going on. I want to hear your side of that. I want to hear what's going on. What happened that led up to that tape that basically had you at the door and pretty much wilding out. What was happening there?
Okay, well, I'm gonna start off by saying I am in no way offended by your critique of the situation. You didn't take it easy on me, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the criticism, and I'm in no way proud of my behavior. So I don't know if I should start off or end off with an apology. But let's just say this dude was pushing a lot of buttons for a really long time, and I just felt like, listen, I can't take this shit no more. This is not how I was raised. But I actually dropped a video earlier, I think today, or the last video that I dropped.
Okay. It
actually gives a lot of context as to how that finally.
We'll link that too, by the way, guys. We'll link that to the description, so look out for that.
Okay, but really the gist of it is that dude is doing a lot of shady shit business-wise. He fucked me over in a lot of ways when it comes to business, and then he used me up and discarded me as soon as he could. And I wasn't even really too hot about it because I anticipated it. I saw how he was moving. I saw how he was operating. I said, all right, this dude isn't going to keep his word. So then they started trying to kind of pay me. He wasn't paying me what I was worth either. So I was already trying to prepare myself to kind of go off and do my own thing. I actually kind of was like, you know what? He isn't going to keep his word, but I benefited from being around them as far as the hands I was able to shake and the content creators I was able to meet and build a rapport with. And that actually pissed him off a lot. He didn't like that. He didn't like the idea of me being quote unquote broke with no clout, but still getting the same, or if not more of a reception from the same people that he was trying to win over with said money and clout. I mean, these dudes were gravitating towards me with nothing to offer them. And he hated that. Because he's like, yo, for me to have to pay this person to collab and then they gonna go work with broke ass Ayinde for nothing. So I was already on my way out. You know what I mean? When he tried to cut ties or whatever. But in cutting ties, what he did is what he does to everybody, which is try to assassinate their character so that he can win the popularity contest. And that's the part that wasn't gonna sit well with me.
Anna, I see you nodding your head over there. Anna, she's over like, yep, I can verify that.
That's a trait. That's a narcissistic tactic.
Word.
So yeah, I get exactly where you're coming from. So now, when you were talking about how can you break down, because in your video, that breakdown you were talking about, you and Lars J, you were talking about your role in the business there and how you were able to get the girls and whatnot. So if you were getting the quality of girls that he was doing, what would force a man to try to do what he did to you, and what were the signs you were seeing when that was happening and kind of clued you in?
Okay, I'll give you a couple of little examples.
Okay.
Because it's bad enough that this dude be taking ideas and then trying to take credit for people's work, but when you first suggest it, he immediately shoots it down. Nah, that's stupid. That ain't gonna work. He ain't trying to do that, all that kind of stuff. And then he then later on does it works, and then he claims all the credit for it. And it's like, nigga, you didn't even want to do this. I'll give you an example. One day, I'm minding my business. I go over to Fresh's crib, wake him up, say, listen, get your ass up. We got to work out, bro. He says, all right, first we got to walk the dog. I said, let's do it. We go outside, we walk Hero in the back, and I see a nice chick, blonde, nice little waist, pretty face, big booty, wearing tight yoga pants, walking her dog, right? So I'm like, yo, Fresh, what's up with this right here? He's like, you about to holler? I'm like, no, we bring her on the podcast. And he was like, nah, I'm like, why? He's like, I know that bitch. You don't want to bring on a podcast. I'm like, why don't I want to bring on a podcast? She looks good to me. He's like, she's a feminist, she's a career woman, and all this other kind of stuff. I'm like, wait. That's perfect, because at that time Kevin Samuels was being attacked. Allegedly only attacking black women and only criticizing, critiquing black women. So I'm like, hold on, this is perfect. We can get her on the show. Kevin Samuels will interact with her, and then he can prove the point that he deals with women the same across the board. So this is valuable for that reason. So he said, all right, we ran it past Myron. Myron said, hell no. Because I guess Myron didn't like her either. The chick's name is Amanda, right?
Do they know? Okay, by the way, do they know that he said he knows this lady, and they didn't specify to you how they know her, how they know she was a feminist or any of that? They didn't specify all that, correct?
I don't want to let out too much of Shawty's business.
Don't. You don't have to if you don't need to. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because I don't have a problem with her. You know, she's cool. I mean, she's got a strong personality, bro. But I'm not offended by that. You know what I'm saying? So what ended up happening was I just had to like kind of text back, forth with her. We kind of like moved the subject and was talking more about training and stuff like that, because she actually wanted to come on the show. And the reasoning for why she wanted to come on the show was the same as why I brought the concept to them in the first place. Because she was like, you watch that show and all they have on there is Miami girls. And I was like, yeah, you got a real problem with Miami girls. She's like, yeah, because all they do is got fake surgeries and fake butts, and you're bringing all these strippers and porn stars, and that's not a good representation of women. I said, sister, you're preaching to the choir. That's why I wanted to bring, a different caliber of women on the show. So So she's like, I told Fresh to let me come on the show. And I was like, oh, really? So not only did he tell me no, she had already asked. That's why he was so quick to say no. Because she asked them to come on the show.
So you're saying they didn't want someone with opposing opinion to come on their show? Wait a minute now. That sounded pretty interesting there.
Hey, if you've seen the episode, you know why they didn't want to have her on the show.
Oh, yeah.
But I was trying to see the bigger picture. I wanted that interaction with Kevin Samuels. I wanted that good TV. I wanted that good dialogue, right?
Yeah.
So what I did is what I do. I booked her anyway. You know what I'm saying? I booked her anyway. Come on the show, right? So she came on. Donovan Sharp happened to be on. Aaron Clary, the numbers guy, happened to be on. I love Aaron. Shout out to Aaron. I love Aaron. Did an interview with me in Vegas, and
he's funny. He's a funny guy. I love
him. I love him, and he showed me hella love. Dude, the dude drove an hour to my hotel room to do an interview with me, and I ain't got no clout. So
that's respect.
I always got love for that dude. So and also Rollo Tomasi was on there. Shout out to Rational Male. So they're on, they're doing their little thing, they're getting their back and forth, it's getting heated, that and that. You know what I'm saying? She stormed off and everything. Then she came back on, and your boy KS called in. And it was like my manifestation game was on point. Like every time it played out just the way I envisioned it. He interacted with it, made great TV, viral moment, whole 9 yards. What does your boy Myron do? Take full credit for it. And I find that very interesting when he does shit like that, because he'll take full credit for it, act like nobody else was a part of nothing. And then when Kevin Samuels says, hey, I'll be in town at this particular time and we'll get some girls on, whatever, could you get this particular girl back on? Then all of a sudden, Myron has to come to me now. Myron has to call me and say, hey, could you get so-and-so to come back on? It's like...
And you referenced that in part of your video too as well, of how that whole dynamic went down. So part of the thing I want to ask, because when you were breaking down in your video, it almost reminded me of, because I felt that initial part. I was like, I get it, because it seems like if any of you guys out there, especially some of you guys in the chat, if you guys have a job where you're dealing with a shitty manager and those guys who are always, trying to take credit for everything and then put you down to make sure that they keep their position. Now, it leads up to my question here, the internal dynamics of the crew, the internal workings on behind the scenes. You guys both kind of touched a little bit on that. You mentioned something that kind of made me clue into this. The Chris guy that everyone says looks like Drake. I say Terrence Howard, but Drake, whatever. You said that they're transforming him into something that he didn't used to be. And someone actually go ahead.
A piece of shit.
Yeah. Say it with the chest, man. I ain't got no problem with that. Go ahead.
yeah, but I don't want to be misunderstood.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to that team, that's a hard-working team, Myron included. So I'm about the truth. That's what I'm about. I'm not about slander. And one of the things that pissed me off the most about having to be in that fucking environment is the way that Myron treated other people. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I upset the most. And I'm not virtue signaling. I hate virtue signaling. I'm just being honest. I can deal with my own shit. You know what I'm saying? I can stand up for myself. I've never had a problem standing up for myself. As a child, I stood up against adults. So when I'm in an environment where people are being mistreated, it really upsets me. Because I'm like, you over here picking on people that don't stand up for themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. No, that's true.
I don't necessarily curse on your platform. So
no, that's right.
The way he treated Fresh always really upsetted me, because I don't care what anybody says about these dudes. Y'all don't know these dudes. You wasn't, listen, y'all know these dudes, okay?
Yeah.
I know Fresh. Fresh is not nowhere near as bad of a person as he's being painted right now. The problem is he's just kicking it with the wrong dude, following the wrong leader, corroborating the wrong lies. It's like, stop letting this guy get you into this, man. I know everybody keeps saying, Fresh is a grown man. He makes his own decisions. Yeah, I get it. The problem is he invested in the wrong stock right now.
That's true.
It's killing him. He can't just walk away.
It's like that old quote, you're the sum of the people you hang around with,
exactly.
Correct?
And Chris is a good dude, man. He's just on the wrong, it's not even that they're on the wrong team. They just have the wrong captain. It's like
now one thing go ahead. I want you to finish that thought.
I was just gonna say, it's like they just need to get rid of that one arrogant star player. That's it.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Now, one thing that kind of stuck out to me, because I'm gonna just reference that video that's pretty much viral right now. Going into it, and we're gonna go into that a little bit later, because I want you to, because there's a lot. You know how people can perceive things and say things that. Matter of fact, and that's one thing I have to point out in one of my critique videos in there. They were talking about, he bust down the door. I'm like, yo, pay attention to that door. I don't think anyone was kicking anything down. I did notice the Timbs though. My man came in ready, but ain't nobody kicking no door down. But in that video, you were making an appeal to Fresh. You were making an appeal to Chris, and that actually stuck out to me, and it kind of helps me verify kind of what you're thinking on a consistent level there. Why in that moment? Can you tell me what was running through your head in that moment?
This is the thing. The reason why me and Myron bump heads so much is because, like, how could I give you a good example? It's like, you ever seen somebody taking advantage of a group of people? But then there's that one person in the group that's like, wait a minute, this isn't right. No, hold on, wait a minute. No, because it's like, yo, you got too many questions, man. Just go over there and just stay in your place. It's like, no, wait a minute, I've been thinking about it, and I don't really like the way you're dealing with us. And they're kind of like riling everybody up and kind of encouraging everybody else to kind of think for themselves and kind of reevaluate the situation. And now that person's going to be viewed as a troublemaker. It's not that they're a troublemaker. It's just that they're forcing people to kind of be a little bit more aware and observant of what's really going on here. And Myron didn't like that. Because like, you can talk down to these niggas. You ain't gonna talk down to me. You ain't gonna talk to me like that.
And you mentioned that because you were talking about in your video. Yeah, I was watching that thing repeatedly. You were talking about the stuttering part. Can you break that down? Is that what you're trying to tie into right now?
Well, I wasn't even really going there, but that's just the way that I kind of like put it into context so that people can kind of get it. It's not going over their head. That Myron is legit like a predator. Like he literally looks. I don't even say, you know what? He doesn't look for them. You know what he does? He filters through them. So it's like look in the chat, look here, and look at all these guys trying to like reach out and trying to be part of something. And then he kind of looks for who has something to offer. Like, okay, are you a photographer? Are you a director? Do you edit? Okay, you have a skill set that's useful to me. Now let me see if you're on my balls. Are you on my balls? Can I take advantage of you? Can I suck you dry for what you're good at in exchange for just being in my presence? You see what I'm saying? So it's like he's looking for male groupies.
So like the beta males. That's what he's looking for. Guys who in terms of backbone.
I don't like that term.
Okay. How would you put that?
Because for me, like, I used to be a male dancer, right? So that's kind of what we were looking for as strippers, as dancers. You're like, all these girls are attracted to you, all these girls like you, they want your attention, they want to be around you, but it's like, yeah, but what you got to offer them? Like, what can you do? Like, what can you do for me? Because it's like, I got plenty of access to sex. So it's like, you work at the hospital? Oh, you can get me a job in human resources?
So they're saying they're clout chasing.
I mean, they're just basically looking for an exchange of value where they don't get back value.
Makes sense, because that's one of the things that when you hear those allegations with leveraging the podcast and whatnot, it made sense to me, because it's like these guys, it's leveraging power. It's a perception thing, you know. It's like, dude, it'd be much easier for you to just do what you need to do with your cash without having to leverage and do with your business. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And then you're going around teaching these other young impressionable minds that, you know, this is the way to do it, and it's not the right way to do it. So that realistically was my frustration with the whole thing. Now, going back to the back end thing of this, because one thing I want to ask you is, and there's nothing that's been going around, is the tension between Kevin Samuels and even some of the other podcast creators that are in a similar space to that. Now, is it because I was watching Myron's apology or whatever the fuck he was doing Q&A, they almost made it sound like it was right, they almost made it sound like it was a competition thing, and it wasn't like a straight diss thing like you were mentioning in your video, like they whatnot. Can you clarify that for us?
That I actually caught a little snippet of that, and I thought it was real interesting because I was surprised they were willing to admit as much as they did. And I actually wanted to cover that with there's another guy that I want to talk about that with because he made a video about it, and I kind of wanted to like fill in some blanks there because what Myron does is he tells stories out of chronological order. So things that came later, he puts it first. I know she's over here nodding. She's saying, "Yep, I know exactly what he's talking about." and then another thing that he does is he omits certain things and then he embellishes certain things. So with him, there's a lot of fucking editing going on. It's like when you're editing, like turn up the volume here, subtract from here, move this to here. Like that's what he does with reality. Like that's what he does with the story, right? So when I was listening to it, I was like, yeah, there's a lot of elements of this explanation that are true, but you're telling this shit out of order.
Yeah.
And then you're like interjecting this competition thing to make it seem like you're some type of stand-up dude and you're on your masculinity, because that's one of the best qualities of masculinity is being competitive. But there also is a gentlemanly way to be competitive. There's a respectful way to be competitive. And I'm like, you threw that word in there, bitch. That was nowhere in the situation. Because at the time frame that you were saying those things about Kevin Samuels, I don't know what you said after I was gone. I know what you said when I was there because my ears work well. And when I was there and those things were being said, you were in no way, shape, or form in competition with Kevin Samuels. If anything, you guys were desperately avoiding competition. So I'm like, where the fuck did that word come from? Like, that's a buyout right there. You copping out with that one. Okay, so I'll tell you exactly what was the nature of that shit talking.
Okay.
What it was is that the time slot that Fresh and Fit was trying to go up was the same time slot where Kevin Samuels was going. And Kevin was making the call and saying, listen, it's a conflict of interest. We're bumping heads because some of our viewers are crossing over. No wonder, because Kevin Samuels has done a lot for your show. So no wonder some of the subs follow both of you. And he was just simply saying, you guys gotta move it up. Right? Now, Myron's response to that was, mind you, after going in the room, closing the door, and talking to Mr. Kevin Samuels very, very calm and cordially, comes out of said room every time angry, right? And expressing himself verbally, like, fuck this shit. Who the fuck does he think he is to tell us when to do our show? And I'm getting sick of this shit. I can't wait till we fucking don't need him anymore. As soon as we get enough subs, fuck him. We moving on or whatever. And the F word.
Damn.
See, this is the thing. He throws the F word around a lot. And that's one of the first things I noticed when I would be around him is there's two words he throws around a lot, and I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? He throws the faggot word around, and he throws nigga around a lot, and it's like, and then it's crazy too because like, what's the context? What's the connotation of it? Because he throws it out for the extreme negative and the extreme positive. When he's upset with somebody, he's like, yo, this fucking nigga. But then when he's just like, come on, nigga. So it's like, I don't know,
like a man out of place. It almost sounds like, right?
Right, and he does the same thing with the F word. Like they be joking around and calling each other faggot. I'm like, oh, look, man, that shit ain't funny. Don't call me.
They kind of did that. There was a show where they were actually doing that live. Where he was like, oh, well, we like to use this word, it's the F word, and it ends with agate. Like,
I don't think it's funny. Is all I'm saying.
No, you're absolutely on point with that.
It's a little
but anyway,
short. Right. So he would throw that around a lot. But the only time that he would throw the faggot word around where I thought there was some seriousness in it is when he was talking about Kevin Samuels. So then it's like there's already like other people that are accusing him of that or saying that. So
that's like, right, yeah.
So I'm a little lost with it is what I'm trying to say. I'm just like, why that choice of words? And then my whole thing is, where the fuck is the integrity with this dude? Because it's like you're saying fuck this dude. I can't wait till I don't need him. And my whole thing is, why do you need him now then? Why do you need him now then? Because if I need somebody, right? Whether I like desperately need them or I need them in the sense that they will just make what I'm trying to do easier and quicker. Either way you want to use the word need, I feel like there needs to be some humble with that.
That's facts.
If you need me to buy your meal or else you won't eat, you need to be humble, right? And if like you left your wallet at home and you don't want to wait to go home and get your wallet to come back and then buy food, I mean, you're not gonna starve without me, but you still need to be kind of humble because I'm.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I just feel like, which one is it? Do you need this dude or not? Because if you do, chill, right? So what I would say to him is like, dude, just relax, just play along, because right now everything's going good, everything's going well, and to get Kevin Samuels back in studio with girls, you had him here before, but you didn't have him with girls, so that's what we're aiming for, that's what we're pushing for, and me. You know what I'm saying? I'm invested in that happening because I want to meet Kevin Samuels, not so much to collaborate with him. I want to meet him. I want mentorship. So I'm like, I can't wait to get the opportunity to meet this dude. And my way to do that is by providing the absolute perfect female lineup for him to interact with.
Like the value aspect for it.
Right. So the point that I'm trying to make is, in a different way, I'm just as invested as Myron is in keeping so-called Kevin Samuels pleased.
And let me mention something to the guys, almost 2,000 of you guys watching right now. See, guys, one thing I understand, the way what he's talking about right now, I see it because he basically explained the way he how he came on to working with Fresh and Fit in the first place. He didn't come up there, you know, he had nothing, but he approached them in a way that was, you humbled yourself and said, hey, I want to learn, because that's what you said in the video. Like, I just want, you know, I just want the experience. I want to be able to shake hands with the right people, things like that. So it's very shocking to just hear the two different sides of things. And that's what you people, man, when you're following these guys, I tell you, you don't know what's going on in the back end. You don't understand. You're hearing it from the guy's mouth right now. He's legit worked with them in the back. So it's nuts that this is coming out. Anna, what do you think about this whole thing?
I was just about to say, get her in that one, cuz.
What do you think?
I mean, a lot of the points he's making are points that we made. I don't even remember if we were actually live or not at that point. But
no, we weren't.
No, this is everything that we've been saying, and even just, I mean, everything. Well, I don't know, you know, obviously not saying the specifics of the situations that you're talking about because I wasn't there, but just the things that you're talking about as far as like the character and the integrity of these things. And this is stuff that I was telling him earlier that we were talking about. And even just the recollection of events and dramatizing things and taking them out of the timeline. And the problem is you have someone with a platform where people think he's a leader, but he's an influencer instead. And so everybody just, he says something and they're ready to go to bat and ready to go to war for this because his interpretation of the actual events, it's getting messed up in his mind somewhere, intentionally or not. It's getting skewed.
Well, let me say this. Like, for example, somebody like me, he's gonna have a problem with because he can't control me. He can't control me. He can't control what I'm gonna say and what I'm gonna do. He doesn't like somebody that's gonna call him on his shit and be confident about it, right? And somebody like Anna, he's gonna have a problem with her because she's contrary to the narrative that he's trying to sell. So it's like, for example, he's trying to act like she couldn't be valuable other than the fact that she's just like, okay, she's attractive. It's like, yeah, no, hold on.
There are too many attractive women in Miami.
No,
guy.
But like, okay, let me give an example of what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Let's just say that your name wasn't Anna. Let's say your name was Adam and you were a dude. What you've accomplished at your age would be celebrated. You get what I'm saying? That dude would be a successful dude. He'd be a high value dude. You know, okay, so how all of a sudden is this person not this because it's a different gender? Myron doesn't like that because her existence proves him fucking wrong is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just like his own existence. So,
because I'm assuming, Anna, you would have probably held your own in some of these questionings, and exactly. And the thing with the statistics, I noticed that a lot of these guys in these red pill spaces, they kind of use that as their weapon to beat people over with, and it's like, you have that, and this is where I actually vibed with what you said, Allende, because I said this like way before when I first criticized Rollo Tomassi, right? And I was like, okay, your book has a lot of theoretical information, and it makes sense for guys to kind of use it as a guide, but that's it. It shouldn't be reality. And when you mentioned it's not absolute, and when you mentioned, hey, you know, you were married, you've obviously had experience with women, I felt that because I'm like, I would never say, or even if like the way the show was structured, how they kick people out, I still wouldn't like just the harshness and the anger. I just can't find it in me because it's like, it just doesn't make any sense. So when you said, hey, these guys don't have the experience because clearly it shows in the way that they deal with the women, I vibe with that. What do you go ahead if you had anything to add to that?
Well, I just feel like he is such a control freak that he wants to control the end of the movie. And it's like, if you're bringing women on, or if I'm bringing women on, the goal is to learn something, right? It's to investigate, question, have healthy dialogue, learn something about them, they learn something about us. How can that take place when you want to already dictate the end of the movie? So anytime somebody says something that he thinks is off script, it's like you jumping down their throat. It's like, hold on. Let her be a fucking unicorn. If she's a unicorn, let her be a unicorn.
And that's the thing you want the guys to see, right?
That's my point. So it's like, I'm more interested in bringing on the exception to the rule. He wants to bring on the consistent, to keep on hammering the same point. So what I'm saying is,
so that all that I'm sorry, because this is a very good point, because this is a big criticism about the show is the amount of women, right? And when you were talking about you're the one who brings the women in now, compared to when you were working there, right, and the quality of women and the kind of conversations you had, what did you notice the difference in when you were there and the kind of people you recruited versus whoever is running the operation now, and how has that affected the quality of the show?
Well, when I was there, everything that I tried to do was like stifled. It's like I was trying to pull off magic every time, and just someone was trying to break my fucking wand. So if I'm saying, hey, let's do an episode on single mothers, but here's the thing though, my goal with bringing on single mothers is I'm trying to break through all the motherfucking, preconceived notions. So what you're trying to say is single moms bad, don't date single moms because they have all these negative traits and all blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. I'm trying to bring something that's the exception to that. I'm trying to bring single moms that are gorgeous, look great for their age, look amazing for having already had children, understand, or at least are willing to have the discussion as to what types of authority said stepfather should have. If you're expecting a man to come in and take on this type of responsibility, are you willing to let him lead you as well as the children? Are you willing to let him discipline the children? Let me tell you why you would need to do that if you have this expectation. And have a fucking useful conversation. Have a healthy conversation. When I was growing up, stepfathers were like the shit. If you were a stepfather, you automatically command respect from the community because you're stepping up. So what I'm saying is, why are we telling men to avoid this when the biggest problem we have as a species is lack of fatherhood? So if you are willing to come and fill that gap, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That should be encouraged. But hold on, because everybody's gonna say no, because this can happen and that can happen.
Yeah, these fanboys,
chores and all that. Okay, so time out. That means the man being willing to step up is only half of the equation. The other half of the equation is the woman understanding that he needs to come in with the same level of authority as if he was the father of those children in a time in a society where even the biological father is not given the proper authority and proper power in the house. So why can't we have that discussion that will be helpful? If we can make the women understand that, then you would stop having these single mothers demanding that men step up without giving men what should come with that responsibility. With responsibility needs to come authority. They go hand in hand.
Yeah, it's almost like telling one side of the story and not giving the chance for the other guys or the other women to come aboard and say, hey, because I've seen, that's the thing, when they talk about don't wife single mothers and all that stuff, like I get it, but then in my personal experience, I'm going around seeing people who are already mothers and they have their fathers and they're working well, they're doing all this stuff. So it's like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't understand the reality you're trying to portray. Do you have anything to add to that, Anna?
Yeah, especially being about to be a single mother. This is something where, the Fresh and Fit podcast, they don't want to, like you're saying, they don't want to bring anyone on that doesn't fit their narrative, that doesn't go along with the image that they're trying to project. And until all of this beef with his following coming after and attacking me, I had no idea how absolutely evil people could even be towards single moms. But people don't realize there is a story that needs to be told, because just like a woman deciding to be a single mom or being a single mom is not always derogatory. It's not always it's not always bad for the kid. I can't talk about all of the specifics of my current situation because honestly, because I will say this, because the father threatened to kill me if I don't get an abortion. So, and I'm trying to get into a new place. So, I can't talk about all the specifics, but a lot more than that has transpired. And in this situation, everyone coming at me and like hating on me, saying that it's terrible, like single moms are trash. This is because this is the narrative that even this podcast has led people to believe that single moms are trash. When in this case, like, I would give anything to have a man by my side during pregnancy, during this awful, like, challenging time. But I'm at the ER alone by myself because I don't want to put a violent man in my child's life, because I want better for my child. And I do want a good man to come in and take that leadership. But that story never gets told, and instead it's just single moms. Don't end up with single moms. Single moms are trash. There's no value. There's when no one's even asking, like, the other side of the story, and they can't just say, like, their side and not bring on the other, because there's so much more.
You never know what people are going through. Go ahead, Ayinde. Am I saying your name right, Ayinde? I'm sorry, I'm Nigerian, so I have an accent, cool. So I have problems with. Okay.
I mean, what she was just saying, I tried to present that, and they just fucked it all up. I brought two amazing single moms on, gorgeous, and you know, I'm trying to give them an opportunity to give us where they're coming from, so that we can kind of like meet in the middle and get it. And all they did was just railroad these chicks into the same damn narrative. And I was just like, what a waste, because I put that effort in. Because you gotta understand, it's one thing to just invite women on, but then you gotta create a certain level of trust. They have to be comfortable with you and all this kind of stuff.
The vibe has to be right.
Right, to get them on is work. And then with Myron, a lot of times it's extra work to get them to come on once they see who he is. Do you know how hard it is to get women to come on? And then they're like, yeah, okay.
I was going to ask.
And they send the link and they watch it and they're like, oh, hell no, I ain't going on that. So I
got so many messages. I got so many messages from women who are like, my boyfriend doesn't convince me to come on the show, but I don't know. Myron makes me a little nervous.
That's all I want to say. The vibe. So, like, when you were there, because one thing I noticed, like, because I watch body languages. I work in sales, so you kind of pick up little things. And what I noticed is, like, it's almost a level of uneasiness in there. And I said in my last video, I'm like, just watching this, man. If I was sitting in that room, almost I probably wouldn't want to be there any longer than I have to, or the tension so thick you can cut it with the butter knife.
Let me tell you something. When you get a chance to watch that episode, it's called Fresh and Fit versus Single Mothers. I don't even know why the fuck they put that versus in there like it was a boxing match, right? Now,
but it goes to your previous point, though.
Right. Now, when you watch that video, he made old girl cry for no freaking reason. He made the chick cry for no reason. I'm over here like, oh, you gotta be kidding me, man. I'm in this episode. So I'm like struggling to try to like edge out some good conversation, and then just with the bullshit, with the stupid questions, with the questions that don't matter, setting chicks up to fall on their face. I'm like, come on, bro, let's get some good dialogue. I'm trying to talk about fathers being able to discipline the children. I'm trying to talk about this, and what the fuck? I'm trying to be non-biased when we're having this conversation. Like you having this conversation, but it's predetermined. The question is, should guys consider being stepfathers if the atmosphere is right, if the woman is right, if the child is the right age, if everything falls into place? Is it a viable option? And you're not even allowing this conversation to happen. You're just already saying nope, it's bad, and no, and it's not going to work. And it's like she's trying to get a point across, and Myron is like, stop cutting me off. And then he's like over the top with it, and it's like, nigga, do you not know anything about women? This is the way women communicate. Thank you. Talking at the same time and hear each other.
Thank you. When he's sitting there talking about your emotions or all this stuff doesn't matter, I'm like, what do you, dude? If you don't understand, because we're talking about emotional intelligence, it's debunked. This is. I'm like, look, I don't care if it was a journalist that made it. It's understanding the motivations behind people and why they do what they do. That's important for dealing with people. If you want to be successful, you're gonna need to understand what motivates people. But if you're a fucking brick, and that's what Myron strikes me as, a goddamn brick. I don't know how you were able to be such a huge player, like you're trying to fucking play it out to be. It doesn't make any sense.
Dude, do you know how, listen, they would have never been able to get off the ground with that concept without me. Even if they took the concept and just like get rid of this nigga immediately, it would have never worked because the women wouldn't have come on.
That's a good point.
I had to really convince the women. I had to really butter them up. Even the episode where I put the two OnlyFans girls on with Adiz from the roommates, and then Kevin Samuels called on for another amazing and viral moment. Them bras got up and walked the fuck out. But if you notice, those broads came back and sat their little asses down.
I noticed that,
and they toned it down a little bit. You know why?
Okay, can I just say one thing before you say that? So, because I'm gonna say what I thought the audience was, what I thought, just being an audience member, I thought it was a whole clout thing, because that's how they kind of, you know, when they came back, I'm like, oh, so is it the clout thing? But go ahead.
So what I did was I stepped out in the hallway and I said, listen, this is what you're both gonna do. You're gonna take your ass back inside, sit down, and listen more than you talk. And the blonde shorty said to me, why? So I'm supposed to just go in there and I'm supposed to humble myself? I said, what's in there right now? There's a room full of men in their mid-30s who are either already extremely successful or on their way to success. And then when this guy that you don't know called in, what did we all do? We all gave him the floor. We deferred to him. You don't know who Kevin Samuels is, but we know who Kevin Samuels is. So if grown men that got their own motherfucking money is deferring to him, maybe you should get in there and humble yourself too. You're ruining a really big moment and you don't even know it. Ooh, yeah. Ladies, this way. You see what I mean? So it's like,
that's how you talk. That's how you do it.
Play cleanup. You gotta constantly play cleanup. And it's
wow.
Like, and I have to hold the mop the whole damn time because Myron keep on knocking shit over. And it's unnecessary stuff. It's like, my dude. So what he lets me know, what was obvious to me about him from the beginning is that you're empty on the inside. You haven't developed self-confidence, right? You're not secure within yourself. That's why you're always demanding respect from people, because you don't respect yourself. You're not used to
any person can smell that a mile away, man. Like I sniffed that. I'm like, oh yeah, for sure.
So if a girl interrupts you and your first instinct is that she's disrespecting me, I put this bitch in her place. It's like, why, dude? Why are you so? Hold on. Why are you so defensive? And if you're so dominant and you're so masculine, why are you so easily offended by a female?
Because high value men are common and attractive women
that's
are not.
That's what I'm trying to say. Bro, let me tell you something. As a man, majority of things that women would say to me that could be offensive, I would never take it personal. I don't take what women say personal, bro. It's just not a big deal because you know
who the hell you are. You're confident in yourself. If someone walked up to me and said, "Hey, guy, you're stupid," all right, whatever. Sure, that's your opinion, but keep it moving.
And not only that, another thing that he doesn't realize is 98% of the time, that's a shit test and you failing it, buddy. You big old F on there, buddy.
Speaking of which, Hannah, I got this question for you. So when you're reading through, because the game, all right, the text game that he was messaging you right now.
Which was horrible. It was horrible.
If he would have said that, so if he would have said that to just be in your female mind, assuming if he would have said that to any random girl, you think that would have been anyone would have had a chance, like he would have had a chance with any girl with the kind of messages or even the style or the tonality behind what he sent to you? Is that something that they were like, oh shit, I guess I'd fuck him, right? No. Young men, pay attention. FNF stands, pay attention. You want to talk about? Go ahead.
That's why I posted it anonymously to my story, because I could not, like, I thought, okay, if he's a dating expert and he's talking to a female like this, maybe there are women that this works for. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm gonna put this on my story. And it was like over 400 women saying like, I can't believe this.
Wow.
And yeah, my following, of course, they're probably gonna side with me, but they didn't know who he was. And on a side note, most of my following is female now because I don't post pictures in thongs and like ratchet fitness content. I post more like
that'll make no difference.
But
I mean, make no difference.
All the
you ain't gotta post guys to be interested. I'm gonna tell you right
now.
This is a different type of interest.
I just mean all the females were commenting, like saying they were blown away. And I don't think that's just because they're following me. I think it's because females, you don't talk to women like that.
Well,
young men, pay attention to this. Go ahead, Ian.
Let me interject something in there real quick, okay? Because rules are designed so that everybody doesn't do something. They're not designed so that nobody does something, right? Now, I'm about to give some good / bad advice, right? I told these motherfuckers, stop fucking with the girls you bring on the podcast. Because first of all, I'm taking offense to it. Because I feel like, really, nigga, I'm doing all this damn work just for you to try to get this chick in your bed. Let me apologize to Anna because I feel partly responsible for Myron's behavior as far as leveraging the podcast to get the women, because it's like I'm over here giving him the facade. Like I'm over here giving him all of the content he needs to create this facade. And then it's like, there's a moment in time where I can honestly say all the chicks he was hooking up with were chicks that I would bring in on the podcast. Now, I'm not bringing them on there for that. But what he's doing is he's playing the numbers game. This is something that we used to do in the club. Like, all these chicks are here, so I got to be able to leave with at least one of them, right? So if you just got one or two girls on there, you don't even have a 50-50. It's much lower than 50-50 that you're going to bring one of them home. But if I bring 10 girls on the podcast, you can get one of them.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel partly responsible for that because I'm facilitating the
behavior
scenario for this to take place. It's almost like I'm guilty by proxy. I don't drink. I don't give these bitches drinks like it's my idea. But then when they be like, yo, they seek the girls and so get them some drinks. I'm like,
now we were actually just talking about that before you came on, Allende, and Anna, props to you, for being fair on that, not because she didn't know what the idea behind it. But my theory was, all right, because obviously we're talking about bringing some quality ladies on there. Now, is the drinks used as kind of like a I wouldn't say diffusion, but to kind of get these girls a little bit off balance? Okay, so guys, this is somebody that's behind the scenes. Okay, this is not me, because I'm just these all. Go ahead, let them know.
Let me tell you something. Absolutely. And I'm not condemning them for it. If anybody condemns them for that, you're the damn hypocrite. Because guys are always looking for the advantage. You meet a girl at the nightclub, the first thing you're going to say is, can I get you a drink? You go to dinner with a girl, you say, you want another glass of wine? So stop. I personally don't drink, and I don't encourage it. But I'm not going to sit here and condemn guys for trying to loosen chicks up with drinks. I'm sorry. And from my personal experience, there's a lot of women that they won't loosen up without the drink. Like, they want the drink. They're like, I need a drink. And I'm like,
that's true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel like I need to rely on it. I don't feel like I need that to get you a little so that my mojo, my game starts working. Nigga, my mojo and game works in the gym at 3 p.m. So I don't need you to be tipsy, right? So what I'm saying about good advice and bad advice at the same damn time, if I was in Myron's position with Anna, the way I would have played it is, number one, you shouldn't be trying to hook up with the girls from the show anyway, but
don't shit where you eat.
Right. But hold on, let me tell you why she's a little bit different now. Okay, number one, she has an equal amount to lose. She's a businesswoman, she got her own little thing going on, she's an entrepreneur. Okay. Then the next thing is, you gotta get on a plane to see her. She gotta get on a plane to see you. So the way I would have played it is I would have played it straight professional until the work was done. I would have coordinated everything. I would have said, listen, we'll take care of the flights. Do you have somewhere to stay? You have friends in town, or you need to get a hotel room? We could work all of this out. I'm looking forward to the interview. What are some points that you want to hit? What do you want to talk about? I would have played everything straight up. Aye, Captain, right? And then when it was done, that's when I kind of would have said, hey, listen, afterwards, I'd like to get a bite to eat with you. I kind of want to go over some things with you. And that's when I would have went into that mode.
There you go.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So
that would have worked probably.
I was gonna ask, Don. I was gonna ask if that scenario hypothetically happened, would you have been open to it?
But here's the thing, though. Go ahead. No, go ahead. You go ahead.
I would have totally accepted that invitation and probably gone out to dinner. I'm not saying anything else would have happened, because also I very much so read character, and I am sensitive to character, integrity, everything. So one dinner conversation with Myron, I would have been like, after that show, I would have been
fuck
like,
this shit.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm not talking.
If that was the approach.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Myron as in general. I'm just talking about that scenario. Because you want to give yourself an opportunity to show your character, show your professionalism, show that you have some reserve, because women don't want to feel like you like that with every girl and you like that right away. Come on, bro. Because women are impulsive. Women are emotional. So why are you showing the same qualities? Now, that would actually be flattering to a woman to know that, oh, so you felt I was attractive the entire time? Because she probably was already second guessing herself. Like, this guy hasn't made a pass at me. He hasn't this, or that. But he had a sturdy handshake. He looked me in the eyes. He smelled good. And he was respectful. So what I'm saying is, that's not a guarantee that she's gonna sleep with you, hook up with you, or anything. But it's a guarantee you would have fucking maintained her respect.
And boom, I was gonna, because you said respectful and you said it again, and that was the key thing, because all of that was just straight disrespect. And listener here had a question about that, about being a gentleman, being taught to be gentleman before being alpha. We kind of went over that, but it kind of goes in hand with what you were talking about. You got to be respectful to women, man. These guys aren't teaching you how to be respectful to women. If you're gonna go out there following Myron's game, you're gonna be throwing bricks, bruh. It's not gonna work.
And that's the thing. He throws bricks. And see, the same way that she's contrary to his fucking narrative is the same way he's contrary to his own narrative. According to him, if you're over 6 foot and you make over $100 grand a year, and women are just gonna roll into your bed. Really, dude, because they ain't doing that for you, and you 6'2". You make well over $100 grand a year. You well over fucking 6 foot, but girls can't stand you. They can't stand your presence. They don't like your fucking face. You see what I'm saying? And so many women have told me that it's not even that Myron is physically unattractive. So many women have literally said to me, if he didn't say what he said, I would have hooked up with him.
Damn.
They said it to me.
Women.
One chick, there was one chick on the podcast, came on the podcast, he tried to hit it, she wasn't with it. He was pissed. Right? He was resentful about it. So he told me, bring her back on. I'm thinking, for what? She was just on. I can bring on somebody else. He's like, nah, bring her back on. I said, I'll bring her back on when I bring her back on, nigga. There's a rotation. I can bring back on the same girl. You got to give it some time. So I brought her back on. He threw her off in 5 minutes flat. And then I realized this was some revenge shit. You trying to embarrass her because she didn't want to hook up?
Bro, that's some feminist, that's some feminine kind of energy right there. You held a grudge?
Bro.
Oh.
Let's see.
I'm sorry. This is like back on that. You want to go first?
I'm just saying, in my experiences, okay, if I had to simplify the dynamics, it's man, be competitive with other men, succeed, women come to you and want to suck your seed.
And that's not the formula. That's not, because life is different. And we talked about this a little bit, Anna, because it almost seems like they're, and it's almost, and I talk about the teaching too. It's like they're putting women in the blocks, and it's like, oh no, you're this, you're a single mom, you're gonna behave this way, you're gonna treat me this way. Oh no, you have tattoos, you have this, you're gonna be this way. It's like, guy, people are different. We're random as fuck, man. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You can't say. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Anna. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
There is a core, like, this is probably oversimplifying. There's a core of every man and woman. There are core desires and principles that we are, like, women are emotional, but it's because we're softer, we're nurturing. And men are supposed to be stronger, like the strong, but that with that comes making women feel safe. And that's what they're not realizing, is that they do not make, or Myron, from my experience, does not make women feel safe. And if you cannot make a woman feel safe, that is the core, at the core root of every woman, like the core desire of every woman. I need to feel safe. I need to feel protected.
And if you can't, that's the red flag. That's the red flag for them.
And you know what the funny thing is?
Red flag for them.
That's what they preach, right? You got to be this alpha male. You got to be protector. How are you going to be protector if she doesn't feel safe being around you? If she doesn't feel safe unwinding and being comfortable? That's the stuff that never made any sense to me, because I'm looking at this. I'm like, yo, the contradictions is just nuts. Anyone that's not seeing this, bro, I don't know what else to tell you. It's right there in the open.
Listen, let me tell you something. When I was growing up, my mother had 2 different VHS collections. She had all the damn Disney movies, and she had all the National Geographic. So I grew up on reality and fantasy. I grew up on both, right? That's what I'm watching. And in nature, the first thing you have to understand as a man is you're not entitled to access to women simply because you're a man. The way the numbers play out, most men are not selected, period. Yeah. So you need to start asking yourself the most important question that comes first is, what's setting you apart from the herd, right? What is setting you apart from the rest of the males? Because the females are going to center around a small percentage of the male population. That's where their focus is going to be.
Right.
So your focus needs to be getting into that small percentage, and you cannot hold that focus while focusing on the women. You can't.
Facts.
It's counterproductive. So what I'm saying is, you have to first focus on yourself before you start bitching, whining, and complaining about whatever attention or validation you feel like you're not getting from these women. You understand what I'm saying? I guarantee, I challenge any guy to go out there and win in any area of life. Go out there and be the best skateboarder, because I bet you Tony Hawk getting laid. You see what I'm saying? Go out there and be good at something. And I guarantee you, there's going to be a pool of women that are interested in guys that do that thing.
Yeah.
Right? So now when you got a guy like Myron, I'm just wondering to myself, why are you checking all these boxes, but you could be at 100,000 subs celebration party without a woman on your arms that believed in you, right? Why can't you be there with a woman that believed in you, that supported you, that saw some potential in you, saw some ambition, and now it's paying off? Her investment is paying off. And if you can't do that, it might just be a matter of timing. Maybe you weren't seeing anybody, you were too busy focusing on your business. I respect that 100%. But now that you've crossed that finish line, where your groupies at? So
wait. Hang on. All right. Hey, Anna, we actually might you might get something here. You want to go ahead and send him that link? It's in the email. Yeah. But you know what? This would be perfect because we might as well just go ahead and talk about this. Let's gravitate into this topic here because Ayenda, you mentioned this in your breakdown video too as well, and and that's the one thing I fucks with like heavy until the whole thing transpired when that encounter happened. But you talked about how they basically the minds of the people that listen to the show. And obviously on this podcast, we had one of the members who, a young man, by the way, young brother. I
saw that, but I didn't see the interview.
Yeah, the young brother who messaged Anna the kind of hateful stuff. It was around that time where Myron doxed her on that platform with when the roommates were on. And he was one of the guys that sent the DMs to it. So we managed to get him on the show to kind of explain himself. And it was the fact that he tried to defend it was just surreal, right? And my thing is, how do you feel that the message of that podcast, Fresh and Fit, how do you feel the message is being pushed on these young men and how they're acting? And what do you think? But let's answer that first part first before I ask the follow-up. Go ahead.
All right, so check it out. Let's say you have an item, right? You got an item, it's a product. On the front, you got the marketing. You got what's supposed to catch them, right? What catches their attention. And then on the back, you got the ingredients. The ingredients are small, they're in fine print. Get that magnifying glass. But on the front, the marketing is loud. It's attractive. It's drawing you in, right? So when you're analyzing the Fresh and Fit podcast, ask yourself, what's the marketing? And the marketing is punish bad behavior. The Punisher.
Yeah.
Hold women accountable. So
that takes on a whole new meaning now after all this stuff broke out, by the way. That
so
whole
now
term.
Ask yourself, what demographic of consumer is that going to attract? It's going to attract guys that are holding resentment for women. Attractive women primarily. She don't answer my DMs. She don't give me her number. She went on a date with me, but she didn't give me no pussy. You see what I'm saying? So you're attracting those guys that want to punish women. I want to hold women accountable for what they did to me, and they don't care about me because I didn't have money, and she don't care about me because I'm short and all that. So you're attracting resentful people already. Yeah. So what is it that they love so much about that show? Which is another thing that I feel partly responsible for, and I feel like, damn, I feel guilty. I feel like, you did this because like the third time that I brought chicks on. One of the girls is a girl that I knew from way back. She used to work at a dealership that I bought my car at, and at the time she was 17. And I knew the chick that I was buying the car from, the chick that headed the finance department, was dating my boy. So I could like talk candid with her. I'm like, yo, so with the girl at the front desk, and she's like, you better stop, boy. She only 17. I said, 17 until when? When's her birthday? So I did in there and saw this young lady grow up. Right now she's a grown woman. She's like, almost she's like in her 30s now or whatever. So I hit her up. I said, hey, you want to come on this podcast? Well, she said, yeah, I'll come into that. I said, cool. Hey, you know what? Can you bring a friend? Because I always ask, can they come as an individual first? Then I say, hey, can you bring a friend or whatever? So she said, yeah, I bring a friend. I said, cool. So I'm at Fresh's crib. She texts me. She says, hey, the friend that I was going to bring, it turns out, she says she knows Myron. I was like, fuck, here goes another cancellation. That's what I thought. I said, shit, she's about to cancel. And she said, yeah. I said, well, what that mean? Where she know him from? She's like, I don't know. She wasn't really clear about it. I was like, so y'all coming? She's like, yeah, she wants to come now. I was like, huh. I was like, that's a first. She knows Myron and she wants to come? So I called Myron immediately. Myron, this chick says she knows you. What chick? I already sent you the Instagram. He looked at it, he said, I don't know this chick. I was like, she says she knows you. Bring them anyway. Okay. So they come. Now I'm on the way to the podcast with my girl. I get a call. Hey, what's up? Where y'all at? Yo, we're out of here. Whoa, what do you mean? We're at the studio and we're leaving. Whoa, wait, what are you talking about? Your boy's fucking crazy. Wait, whoa. What happened? No, fuck this. Your boy's a fucking asshole. Hey, Kat, chill. What happened? Fuck him. We're leaving. Kat, I'm at the valet. Chill. I'll be upstairs. Give me a second. My girl's like, what happened? I was like, I don't even know. Get upstairs, right? Oh no, we didn't even get upstairs. They're already in the lobby. Like they're already coming out. I'm like, yo, whoa, hey, what's going on? Fuck him. He's a fucking asshole. Kat, chill. What the hell is going on? The friend is like, I'm like, and she's carrying her shoes. I'm like, what the fuck happened? What the fuck happened? So she tells me, she says they met last Halloween. Myron was trying to hook up with her the first night. She hung out with him. Myron was being forceful, being aggressive, basically saying, what the fuck? If you wasn't trying to fuck, why'd you waste my time? Why'd you leave the club with me or whatever? And the girl was just like, no, I just met you and I'm not trying to do that. He's like, then why the fuck did you waste my time and whatever? You full of shit. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, damn. And she's like, yeah. So I'm like, well, time out then. Like, why did you even come? So she held on to that grudge for that long. And what?
Wow.
This is the thing about women. Right? This is one of the differences we have here, which is why when guys kind of put things off, they don't address things, it's not looked at as an assertive trait. Because women will kind of feminine. Women will kind of be passive aggressive about something. They'll kind of hold on to that resentment, and they will rather go and warn other women about that guy than like get closure with that guy immediately. So she held on to that for almost a year.
Wow.
And then she found an opportunity. So that means she was still upset about that. And that's how women are. And that's why that's why some accusations aren't false accusations. They're just delayed accusations because she didn't internalize it yet. She didn't digest it.
Probably
yet.
Know how to process it.
Right, she didn't process it yet.
Yeah.
Right. And then what happens is, because this is the common assumption that what it is that he became successful, so now she's trying to take him down. And it's like, not always. Sometimes what it is that she didn't really fully get over it, but she stopped thinking about it and moved on. And because he's popular, she has to see him again. And because she's seeing him again doing well, she's thinking in her head, fuck him, he's a piece of shit. He shouldn't be doing well. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve to do what he did to me and go do well. So a lot of times that's where that comes from. And that was the energy I was getting from her, is that he did what he did. She felt like she was wrong. She felt like she was violated, and then she never felt like she got closure to it. And then now she has to see this guy with his own podcast, his own studio, doing well. And she probably feels like, I would rather see an admirable dude have that. I don't want to see a piece of shit like that. So she addressed him by his government, which automatically made those eyes pop open like, whoa, who is this chick and why does she know my government? So
did her research, that's what she did.
Right. So she made the mistake of reminding him where they knew each other from before the podcast even started, because they got there early, right? So he had to like repeat to her to take off her shoes, and it's like, dude, you acting like she's being disrespectful. Dude, 90% of people in the world don't make you take your shoes off before you step on their floor.
Right.
So not everybody's familiar with that. Not everybody's Muslim. So he's like over here overreacting that she didn't like take her shoes off, meaning like whatever. So they're kind of like, he's already like being aggressive in the way that he's talking to her, which is why
that's so weird, man. Right. What the fuck is all this shit?
So that's why she couldn't even like wait until later to reveal that, because her plan was to reveal it during the podcast. Like you're an asshole and you did this to me. So basically she wanted everybody she wanted to expose him basically.
Yeah.
You know that this is how he treats women, right?
And do it to his face too.
Right, but because they already got into a thing, the cat already came out the bag. So he told her, get her shit and get the fuck out of my place. So what I said to him is, I came upstairs and I said, Myron, what the fuck, bro? I said, dude, it's bad enough that you kick this chick out without speaking to me, because you don't know where I know them from. You don't know if that's a client of mine.
Now, at this point, does he know how hard it is? I'm gonna say how hard it is, but like, does he know like your process in terms of how you're doing this and how it reflects on you, or does he not give a shit?
But that's not the important part. Before you even get to the business aspect of it, you get to the respect each other as men. If you're kicking my guest out without even like, dude, if she offended you, the first thing you should do was move to the side for a second. You call me up and say, yeah, yo, what's up with this chick? Like, what's up with your company, bro? You need to talk to her. That's how you handle that. You don't just flip on her and curse her out and all that, because you don't know what you're fucking up for me.
Right.
You don't know what's the situation that we have. The one that I know, she's extremely successful. You see what I'm saying? She has her hand in a lot of pots. So you don't know what you're fucking up for me by just aggressively and abrasively and impulsively kicking these girls out. Like, dude, calm down and have some respect for the guys that you operate with. The amount of times that Fresh told me that they went on double dates, he offended one of the chicks and both the chicks left. It's like, well, Fresh paid for food too. Fresh is spending time too. Fresh is investing too. And you just fucking it all up for him because you got an attitude problem. You're not even respecting your.
Where's that anger? Where's that? Because you've worked with them. Where's that anger coming from? Like, where is that?
I have some suspicions, right? But let's get back to the point that I'm trying to make. So
okay.
I says, bro,
I don't see him.
I said it's bad enough that you kick these chicks out without talking to me, but the next time you're gonna kick a chick out, why don't you at least wait until the cameras is rolling, and that at worst we will at least get a viral moment. Why did I suggest that? I didn't suggest that as a gimmick to do every episode.
Yeah.
I didn't suggest that as something to push for. What I was trying to say is, if a girl's disrespectful and deserves to be removed, then at least let's get a useful moment out of it. I didn't mean let's plan and orchestrate how we could kick women now. Ooh, how can we kick
But
women
if nothing else, that's smart because you're covering your bases, because now you're protecting yourself from allegations of that person saying, I did nothing wrong and I got kicked off. It's different. You get them on camera and they do something inappropriate. You kick them off then.
That's why they got the kick out cam, which was also my recommendation. Oh, another thing that I told these guys to do, because like I'm a model, I modeled for years. So another thing I told them to do is, hey, bro, you guys got to get fucking release forms. You can't be filming.
You suggested that. So you tell me these brothers weren't even thinking about that?
They lie and say they're lawyers.
Oh my God, bro! I date chicks and I got cameras in my crib, bro. Like, what the fuck? Yo, you have a bunch of these people in your house and you didn't even think about it. Oh God. Oh my.
And that's another thing. Why do you have your work studio in the same place where you rest your head? And then you're kicking chicks out of that place. You're kicking ratchet chicks out. They got ratchet boyfriends. Nigga. Come on, bro. I know you ain't hard to find. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
Bro, if I didn't know you, I would have found you. Is what I'm trying to say. So why you set yourself up like that? He does things thinking that there's no consequence. Why do you think there's no consequence, bro? And then it's like you keep putting out all this bad energy. All you're doing is compiling liability. If you keep on kicking chicks out, how long is it gonna be before one of these chicks come back with a dude with a gun or whatever the case may be? It's gonna happen eventually. If you keep being forceful and aggressive and disrespectful to these women, at what point in time is one of them gonna make an accusation and then they're all gonna come out of the woodwork and team up on you? What happened to Buddy?
I don't know, but that's what's happening right now. Is one thing came out and now everyone else is coming out and saying like this isn't just a one-time incident. This is their character again and again and again. And the amount of screenshots and stuff like that girls used to send me, it was just crazy. So when your thing came out, I was like, wow. It was a matter of time before some girl went public with this type of shit. But girls had been sending me and Fresh that type of content where it's just like the type of stuff that he says in the damn text field or the DM, and I just was like, this dude has no game. Like, that's the first thing that I was looking at. Not just that he's disrespectful or anything like that. I'm looking at, where does this ever work with women? Like, where does this ever work? I was laughing. I was lighthearted in the whole thing until like later on, but I was laughing emojis and everything because that's exactly where I was. It was just like laughable. Like, this isn't game. Like, how does he think that works? Like, come on my show for a collaboration. I only collab with girls I date, by the way. And if we don't sleep together, you can't be on my show.
No, well, see, this is the thing. The reason why I thought that was funny is because that couldn't be further from the truth. All the girls that he collaborated with, like a one-on-one or whatever, or like the girl was the attraction, like she was somebody, that's why they were interviewing her. He never hooked up with any of those girls. The only girls he hooked up with were the girls that just were like, they were just nobody. They were just regular everyday girls. And it was always like 1 out of 5, 1 out of 6, or it's like 1 out of 8 of girls. You know what I mean? It's not, and my whole thing is, that is so contrary to what I'm used to. I'm used to seeing guys have some type of clout, have some type of success, and the women gravitate toward that. So I'm like, how the hell are you the star of this team? And you mean
sorry about that, guys. I'm back. Go ahead.
Okay, you good. I mean, let me ask you this, D. I mean, in your experience, have you ever seen a guy winning and girls weren't gravitating towards him?
No, totally.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Ayanda, do you mind taking some questions from the audience?
Absolutely.
All right.
While y'all do those, I'm gonna run to the restroom because
do your thing, girl. Do your thing. So Ayanda, so one of them wants to ask, is Myron pressing charges? And this is from Janie.
Okay. Well, see, here's the thing. I would not just be talking about this stuff if I didn't talk to certain people first. So I spoke to, my associates that are detectives, not only just detectives, but detectives in Miami. And there's a few reasons why that case couldn't go anywhere. Okay. Now, number one, I didn't break it into. There was no B&E. He's lying like he always does, and I don't even know why. It's just crazy because he lies, and I'm like, how did you even think?
He said they broke the door down in the video. The door was fine.
Right, like people lie, like he lies about shit. I'm just thinking to myself, why would you tell a lie that's so easy to see through? But then he has such a large percentage of people that believe it. He has tens of thousands of people that believe this dumb shit. When you can see for yourself the camera angle of Fresh's phone, because Fresh is who was taking that video. Now, from that perspective, you can see I'm holding the door the entire time and the door is intact.
Yeah.
The 20-second video that I released on my YouTube, you can see that I simply opened and unlocked the door. Yeah. So somebody sent me some video, like he's posting some type of video or image of the door broken, but he doesn't clearly show the door broken. Yeah. He just verbally says that it's broken. But hold on, the thing is, even if that door was broken, he would have had to have broken it, which he would. He would go that far as to do that. Now, the fact that I used to work there, I know that door is always open. That door is never locked when they're recording. So I already knew that door was going to be open. So the B&E aspect of it is non-existent. There wasn't a break-in and entering. Now, what would be there is trespassing. So let me tell you why you can't get burglary, right? You can't get burglary because in order to get burglary, you have to have, trespassing or, dwelling, or unlawful dwelling of occupancy or whatever. Like, in other words, a place you ain't supposed to be. So you would need that component, and then you would need the component of the second crime. Whereas I would have to steal something, break something, assault somebody. I would have to do something else. So you don't have the combination of those two crimes to get burglary. I didn't steal shit, right? So, but then you don't get the breaking and entering because I didn't break anything. So the only thing you would have is a trespassing.
Hey, thank you so much for coming on 360. No, that was
tribalism. It's tribalism.
That's what I was trying to get at, to the mentality of the people that listen to Fresh and Fit. Because when we look at the show and the way it's put together, we produce people with that same kind of mentality that feel like they got to go defend, the honor of someone else. And it's like, bruh, it's just a criticism. And honestly, it's a criticism with receipts. Like, there's proof of what's happening here. So
I think even though he was like all over the place, I think his answer was fucking gold. And I didn't expect that. I thought he was going to be incoherent with the answer. I thought it was not going to really be helpful. But he did a great job of putting it into perspective. It's real simple. It's just tribalism.
He really is.
At a soccer game, you'll have the fans of one team fighting the fans of another team. It's like, why the fuck are you taking this shit so serious? It's just a soccer game. So It's tribalism is what it is. All right.
So we got one more question here, and hey, 360, shout out to you, man. I wanted to plug some of your stuff here, but you kind of left in a hurry. We got one from my man Exposed. Now, we did an interview with this man, and we're gonna have him on again. But he does a lot of the stuff where he exposes some of the. When I was talking on my last episode, that there are a lot of guys who've been talking about these issues, like these red tail issues, a long time. And now I'm just starting to find out about it. But Exposed is one of these guys that has a channel called Exposing the Manosphere. So that I'd say you guys go check it out. It's pretty good. He wants to know, where is Myron's hospitality rooted in? Hostility, not hospitality. Hospitality.
Well, listen. I am not going to sit here and claim to be an expert on Myron. All I could do is just be an extremely observant person, try to pay attention to certain cues, and try to fill in the blanks and make some educated guesses. And it's almost like you learn something every day. Because when I was in Vegas, there was actually a lot of animosity amongst us at that time. But I had called him before I went out there, and I basically tried to give him a preemptive, because I'm always trying to man up. I'm always trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm always trying to man up on dudes. You know what I'm saying? Just like I give Fresh those warnings, like, listen, I have a serious problem with your boy. I'm telling you to stay the fuck out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because I need to resolve this issue, and you need to decide how you're going to handle it. I don't want you to be caught off guard. So the same way I gave Myron that courtesy call and said, listen, you old fuck ass nigga, I told you to keep my name out your mouth. You still got my name in your mouth. So what I'm saying is we live a mile away from each other. So we need to handle this shit now. And the reason why I was coming at him like that is because I already made plans to go out to Vegas. He was speaking at the CME. Donovan Sharp had him on as one of the speakers. Before me and Myron had a fallout, I already had made arrangements with Donovan that I was going to be there. So what I was trying to do was I was trying to get ahead of it so that it wasn't something ugly out there. Because that's fucked up for us to be out there with some issue at this man's convention. You see what I'm saying? So I already have to be on my best behavior. So I'm trying to kind of give Myron a heads up. Like, listen, any problem you got with me, let's settle it now before we go out there. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he didn't want to take that invite. I said, that's cool. You a pussy. You don't want to meet up with me. That's fine.
So that's the invite you were referencing in the video where you stepped to him.
Right. That's the first one that I gave to him.
Okay.
I'm letting you know I'm gonna be in Vegas. Go ahead, do your thing. I'm not gonna interrupt that, but don't be out here cock blocking me, which is exactly what he ended up doing anyway. But I still went out there and made the best of it. I did my thing. You get what I'm saying? But I was just giving him a heads up, like, listen, I don't want to ruin nobody's shindig. I don't want to be that nigga. I don't want to be the dude like, who brought that nigga? You know what I'm saying? So I was just trying to kind of you know what I'm saying, give him that heads up on that. So, but what I'm saying is I actually learned a little something because I decided to listen to his speech, or at least a part of it.
Yeah.
And it was pretty, you know, it's the same fraudulent bullshit, him trying to portray himself as this type of expert or guru or whatever. But there was something that he put in there about the relationship with him and his father. And I was like, this is starting to explain some things. And I think what happened was, and I'm guessing, I don't know.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
No, I'm just guessing. I didn't know 8-year-old Myron.
Yeah.
I know 8-year-old Myron was a punk. You know how I know that? Because grown man Myron is a punk. So I know that. But I don't know, you know, the dynamics of the family. But just listening to him speak, the picture that I was getting was that from a traditional Muslim household, and when his father was kind of like telling him about women and blah, 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 he was giving him the Muslim culture version of the interaction between men and women. And Myron did not get that experience in a Western culture. So it's like in the house, you know what I'm saying?
Women are, he kind of references that his mom says that too, or his mom red pilled him.
Right, but that's my point, is that, see, this is, don't mix it up. My mom red pilled me too, but not the same way. So when he's saying like my mom red pilled me, all he's saying is that his mom basically told him that Western women are different.
Yeah.
That's all she really did, was just tell you like Western women ain't gonna respect you and they only care about money and this and that. That's not really red pilling you. That's actually kind of giving you some bad fucking advice and molding a young impressionable mind to not see any other possibility.
That sounds very familiar, doesn't it?
You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah.
There's a lot of foreign parents that set their kids up for social failure in a new country, because they're kind of like teaching them about how the world is going to be for them, but they're teaching them that from their perspective, which is not the same experience that kid is going to have, because that kid is growing up in that foreign society. So it's kind of like my grandfather, right? My grandfather was born in 1928, right? He came over from Jamaica. But one of the first things he told me in life, one of the first lessons that he gave me was, you have to understand, because I came to this country at 5. I came from Jamaica at 5. So what he said to me was like, you have to understand that in America, A black man has to work twice as hard to be considered half as good as a white man. That's why I didn't grow up blaming shit on racism. I didn't grow up saying it's because I'm black and da-da-da. I grew up with a completely different mentality. I grew up with the mentality of I'm gonna outwork your white ass. No offense, but I'm gonna outwork your pale ass, and then you can't deny me what's mine because I'm better than you.
Facts.
And that's how anybody that's quote unquote black, because I don't like that word, but that's how black people have gotten to white dominated spaces by outperforming the whites that were there, so that it was just simply good for business. If you're scoring more touchdowns, at some point they're gonna be like, I don't give a fuck what color he is. We going to the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that whole white supremacy thing and racism, I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm saying there's obstacles everywhere.
Yeah.
So who cares why that obstacle is there? That doesn't change the fact that obstacle is there.
I get exactly what you're saying, and that reminds me of what you just said, because I used to, with my background before I even got into media and like YouTube and stuff like that, I used to do a lot of stuff in finance, and I worked for this firm, and what essentially happened is we're having an exit, because I was leaving, we're having an exit interview, and one thing, because that was back when they were starting to introduce a lot of diversity metrics, right, and I was one of the top performing sales guys there, and essentially what during our exit interview, they were talking about, well, what can we do to get more
African Americans,
and I'm like, nigga, what? Like nothing. Like, bro, I would like to think that I'm here because of my work and because I can outsell. If you're gonna hire me, bro, did you hire me because I'm black? Because that's a whole different problem that y'all dealing with here. And that what you just said made a good point. And with that being said, we're gonna start wrapping it up. But Anna, I know you've gotten some shit with your social media, so I don't know if you have anything you want to plug or anything like that. But if you have any upcoming events and whatnot,
jumping into DMs like that, bro. I'm getting so many hate messages, and it doesn't upset me when I get these hate messages. I'm just like, what am I supposed to do with this? I'm supposed to be like, my feelings are supposed to be. I got a profile picture, shit! I don't know what to be mad at. There's no profile picture. I'm just mad at
That's him. That's that dude right there. Get him.
Yeah, like I'm mad at Anonymous. Like, who?
Man, the chat is going crazy, man. They want you. Are you gonna start your own podcast, Allende? What's going on with that? Listen, you got your hey, plug.
Sorry. I don't got a podcast yet.
Oh, I was gonna say, because they're asking you to do that. I mean, honestly, it'll probably be better than what, because hey, I don't know if you heard, the Fresh and Fit guy says you're not going to be successful. That you tried to kind of cut him, and you're not going to do it.
That was weird that he said that. I was like, yo, there's so much bullshit they be lying about. Oh, he tried to do it. He was using Fresh and Fit as clout to book the girls. How the fuck I'm gonna bring girls on Fresh and Fit? I'm not on Fresh and Fit. You don't even make any sense.
Like, you could honestly, with that, because I do legitimately think that's the formula they want. If you could do that without even needing dudes like him, like that's what didn't make any sense.
Can I tell you a secret, bro?
Hey, let us know.
I don't feel like I need the crutch of a room full of pretty girls to get people to watch my content, bro.
That's facts.
I don't feel like I need it, because here's the thing. You gotta understand, bro. These dudes, they not showing it. See, Fresh will show off the chicks that he mingling with and diggling and bingling with. All right? But why they ain't knocking on your door? Why these chicks ain't chasing you, bro? Why can't you not shake all these bras trying to get you? You see what I'm saying? What you're doing is you're creating a persona on social media. You're showing off nice cars. You get what I'm saying? You're showing off, oh, I bought a Rolex. Oh, that's cute. I mean, what are you, a fucking rapper from the 90s? Who cares about your Rolex, right?
Abba wants in the chat.
Yeah, Abba wants.
Abba wants to, hey, you guys cool if we extend this a little bit? Can you get him that link? All right, Abba wants to get in here. Let's see, man. Hey guys, I'm telling you, this is a story about redemption. All right, we already seen the first part of it. We've seen the first, situation, and now, guys, this is just getting awesome and awesome. But like, yeah, let's get him in. The link sent. All right, hey Abba, the link sent, man. Whenever you're ready, we'll get you up in here. But continue, Yende.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is,
It's on the IG DM. On his ID, it's on your IG, Abba.
This is my nickname for Fresh, and I want y'all to go out here and use it. I'm gonna coin it, but y'all can use it though. My nickname for Fresh is the first 48. You get what?
Hey, say that again.
It's the first 48.
Hey, let's put that in the chat. The first 48. Put that in the chat.
The first 48 hours, and this is why I give him that. This is why I give him that nickname, because he puts all these fancy material things on the damn Instagram. and it's gonna attract women, but it's gonna attract a certain type of women.
Facts.
Okay, if you buy an old school Dunk painted lime green and put 32-inch rims on it, you're gonna attract some birdies, but you're gonna attract a certain type of birdies.
Facts.
So you putting all this lifestyle out there, showing the restaurants that you eating in, posting all these stories, you're shopping in Louis Vuitton. It's great, but you're attracting women that are either gonna chase the clout, or they're gonna want just the treatment. They want the gifts. They want to eat at the 5-star restaurants, blase, blase, blase. And you're gonna fly them in. You're gonna cover the flight ticket. Let me tell you something. All of that is awesome.
Facts.
If your goal is the first 48, if your goal is to fuck her for the first 48 hours, you're gonna fly her in. You're gonna sleep with her Friday night. You're gonna sleep with her Saturday night. Just know that the appeal is over by Sunday. By Sunday 10 p.m., Sunday 10 a.m., the appeal is gone. The 48 hours is up, bruh. She already posted where you took her. She already posted the jet skis. You know what I'm saying? She already posted the 5-star breakfast. Now she's on to the next one.
I'm glad you said that because we just talked about this, Anna, before I ended. I'm sorry, I have problems pronouncing my I's, man, with my accent. But it was one of those things where, like, they're teaching guys, okay, how to get the girls, like, quick, but you're not teaching them how to keep them. So that it's the same thing that y'all preaching with these dudes.
Hold on. You ain't teaching the guys how to get no girls.
Well, I'm saying the overall, what they're trying to say is they're teaching guys, but go ahead.
Bro,
I just want to make that connection.
You can't teach somebody how to sell drugs. Drugs sell themselves. Okay? Nobody buying crack because you're an awesome salesman. They buying crack because they're addicted to crack. Yeah. So if you gotta use cars, boats, jet skis, and expensive fucking meals and Komodo to fucking attract a girl, you didn't attract her. Those things attracted her. Thanks. Highlights on her Instagram is what attracted her. Lighting up her story is what attracted her, right? And what she's trying to say to the females is, be jealous of me. Be envious of me because I'm living my best life, bitch. You at the office working till 5. I'm on the jet skis with this dude. What's his name again? Fosh? What's your name? Walter. I'm with Walter.
Walter.
While you working, I'm on the jet skis, right? So, and then what she's trying to say to the guys is, if you want to jump in the DM, if you want to kick it with me, you got to provide this type of stuff.
So he's helping them advertise. So he's creating a very kind type of women. Oh, wow. Wow. So you're going out here creating the same kind of women, and then you going on your show bashing the same kind. Oh, my God. The hypocrisy.
That's
Lord.
What I'm trying to tell you. And let me further elaborate on that hypocrisy when it comes to Myron. So you bring girls on, you try to tear them down and show everybody that bitches ain't shit and fuck these bitches. I'm gonna embarrass this chick. I'm gonna punish her. But then when you kick her off your show, Instagram followers way up. I just got this. Way up. I feel this. Right? You kicking the OnlyFans girl off, but her subs is going up on a Tuesday.
Yup. That's why I played that piece. I played that piece of the roommates, right? Because they went on the roommates podcast and they talked about it, right? And Fresh, those were you. And he was talking about
and her subs went up.
Yeah. And there was something about she was at like all these 10K followers and stuff like that. I'm like, what does that say about your audience, bruh? So is your teachings really working? I don't know, because if you're getting frustrated that the people you're trying to get to not do what you're doing, right? And then they're doing what you're doing, you can't be mad. And then you blame them for doing it. God.
The subs are hypocrites. Because the subs will super
them the same dudes over here calling us simps for just pointing it out.
Right. The subs will super chat. They will pay to insult these chicks. And then the same dudes that were doing the most insulting obviously got some bread because they spent all that damn money to say those offensive things to her. Those same dudes jump in the DM and say, let me fly you out.
Yeah.
Y'all rocking that Myron game. Let me insult her because I like her. Nigga, that's childish. That's what little boys do.
Honestly, I want you to elaborate on that, because that just reminded me of what you said in that breakdown video, right? You said that Myron is the Frankenstein. Can you go into that of all these different things? Please go into that, because I want the chat to hear this.
Listen, we done made a monster, because what he thought he was gonna be was the young Kevin Samuels. right? And it's like, are you though? Because the conversations that Kevin Samuels is having, right? They're not offensive. They're being interpreted as offensive by women that are in denial. Women that don't want to hear the truth because it's uncomfortable. And more importantly, they don't want to take accountability, because if they do, they have to accept that it's too late to even make a change, broad. If you 38, 39, 40 years old and got 3 kids by 4 different baby daddies, I don't give a fuck if you have an epiphany or not. It's over for you. So it's very hard for the women that Kevin Samuels is interacting with to actually agree with the criticism and the critique. So what do women do? They label it and classify it as some type of verbal abuse, some type of exploitation, right? Some type of attacking them or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. What Myron is doing actually is those things. You actually are berating women. You actually are degrading women. You actually are insulting women. And this is why it's such a tragedy and such a loss. Because the women that Kevin Samuels is dealing with, it's already over for you. But the women that Myron is dealing with is at an age where we can correct course.
Boom. And that's
correct. There's still time. So that's where you really should be giving, you know what I'm saying, that helpful advice. Because, okay, let's do it like this. You brought up the roommates, right?
Yep.
Let's look at how Aziz is interacting with the women and what his primary goal and incentive is in interacting with them. And then let's compare that to Myron. Myron is trying to convince a chick that she's already a loss, that she's already you're already that and you're a loss. What Aziz is trying to say is, listen, you have to understand, the way it is for you now is not going to always be like that. You need to save money, you need to invest money, you need to be smart. You need to not make the mistake that most women are making. The women are defensive and they're taking it as they're being attacked. In this particular scenario, I can't even blame the woman because she's getting crossfire. She's getting fire from Myron trying to just belittle her, but then she's also trying to get helpful, tough love from Aziz. So it's both being taken as gunfire. I can't differentiate the bullets. I don't know what's friendly fire. I don't know what's somebody trying to shoot me. So that's what's happening. So what I'm trying to say is, why are we not taking an opportunity to help these women if we can? Now, I'm not saying these women are always going to be receptive. Right? That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, let's at least try. Hold on, I got a cramp. My ab is popping out. You can see I need some baby, get me some sodium. I need some. Okay, there it goes. The cramp came out. Okay, sorry. This is gonna be awkward, but I gotta lay like this.
No, you good. You good. You good.
So it comes along with being big. I apologize to you guys. But you understand the point that I'm trying to make is that you can't go in there with bad intentions from the beginning. Like Kevin says that all the time. He says, well, when you went into the relationship, did you have good intentions? How are you going into the relationship?
Yeah.
And the problem with most women is they're going into the relationship trying to take something. They're not trying to go into the relationship trying to give and take. They're not saying, well, let's make a two-way street. They're saying, oh shit, I'm in a point in my life where I need this, and this. Which man gonna give it to me?
Yeah.
And what he's trying to say is, how do you expect to get that from a man and you don't even know what the hell he wants in exchange? How you gonna buy something you don't even know the price?
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you have something to add to that, Anna?
No,
I thought you were ready to pop up.
I was just honestly thinking, I actually know, I think you're 100% right, but I know women, I think I've had more conversations with women whose relationships have failed because they went in 100% trying to fix people. So women are a lot of times at two extremes, either one, wanting to take something, or two, like wanting to fix someone and give so much, and both are dysfunctional. So it's like,
well, the two extremes is what the problem is. The two extremes.
Yeah.
Opposite extremes. They either want the guy to have everything already, or they're thinking, well, I can fix him and then he'll have it.
Wow.
Instead of finding the guy with the ambition and the drive to already want to build it and then building it with him. You're trying to force a guy to make a change that he himself didn't even think he needed to make. You get what I'm saying? So you're confusing potential with ambition. That's two different things. You can have the potential to be this, but you might not want to be that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So
I hear exactly what you mean. So again, I don't know what's going on with that, but what we're gonna do is I don't want to keep you guys for too long. I want to wrap it up. Originally this was gonna be for like an hour and a half because I got other meetings to do. But
I was jumping on.
That's what I was saying. We got it unpinned. So was that? Oh, that was a fake account? Oh, somebody was trying to troll us. Fresh and Fit stands are out. They are out. man, hey, I'm gonna tell you, that is some feminine shit right there, y'all. I just want you to take that as a cautionary tale. Somebody took the time to make a fake account. Oh, that is so freaking. And for Kevin Saint, oh, you guys are sad. This is so sad. Like this is pathetic. This is the kind of toxic shit that we're talking against. You know, this is dumb. Y'all need to get off that bullshit. You know, the internet.
Wait. You just said it's feminine-ish because it's BS.
No.
No, that's good. No, I'm saying like in terms of emotional. Like how they because this is like a contradiction to what they say, right? They're it's a yeah, because this is term that they use. All right, if they wanna do it, you gotta hit them with the term they understand. It's like, yo, if y'all wanna call all these, because they call us guys like us, like they actually speak up and say, right, we're simps apparently, we're feminine guys. Hey, it's like, bro, guys, what the fuck?
I call a simp in the weirdest scenario. Like I'm training with my girl, and I'm a simp. I'm like,
it's so dumb. It's so dumb. So then you do all that stuff, and then you come in and do the exact same thing that you're. It's like, guys, stop pointing the fingers and start doing this because you're the problem.
I think there's a lot of people using words out of context, bro.
Yeah,
throwing words around and they're not using them with the right definition. I'm like, what the?
It's because how
that's true.
Words.
It's how
dictionary words. This is all like new slang and
exactly.
No
it's even hard. It's even hard for. Yeah, it's hard to keep up with all that stuff, and it's like, guy, words don't really mean words like they do anymore. But anyways, Ayanda, you have anything that you want to plug, like any upcoming events, anything that you want these guys, because they're gonna want to know what's next. They want to know what's next.
Well, you put Ayanda the artist there. That's my IG. You gotta put Authentic Alphas there because that's the YouTube channel.
Oh, okay. We'll put that in the description. I think that's just the name on your account there. No, but yeah. So hey, don't go to
IG. If you're not like friends and family or an attractive female, I don't need you on my IG, man. Come on my YouTube.
So
my YouTube.
Speaking of that, I was gonna ask, what kind of content once you do get the podcast starting? If you want to give the audience a little bit of hint at what they can expect.
Man, what you can expect is some self-improvement type shit. You get what I'm saying? We talking about everything from choosing a mentor to choosing the dudes that you want to build with to being better at choosing the women that you interact with that are even worth your time to begin with. So, you know, there's a lot of questions that one needs to be able to answer for self. You know, what is my ambition? What is it that I even want to be? What is it that I even want to do? What are the short-term, what is the long-term goals, and all that kind of shit. So it's like, okay, what can I do to be valuable to myself? And then once I start working on that, I'm making some moves and some progress with that. Now, what can I do to be valuable to my friends and family? Okay, that's progressing. Now, once I did that, now what can I do to be valuable to people in general? So it's like these type of questions, right? What is the legacy? What am I trying to leave her? You know what I'm saying? So we're dealing with those type of topics because everything is bigger than just, you know, money and women. And I feel like that's so limited, right? The money and the women is going to come, but the question is, on what terms? I think that should be the question. And that's, I think, what was missing with Fresh and Fit, because we got a lot of, like, integrity is missing there, honesty is missing there, but also terms. For me personally, it ain't about how much money you make. It's about how you make your money. To me, just I'm just saying, for me, that's more important. So it's like, would you rather be a starving artist doing what you love and what you're passionate about? Or would you rather be, you know what I'm saying, making $500K a year doing something that you absolutely fucking hate? Right?
That's facts.
So these are the type of questions that I want to be asking, and we can answer them together. I ain't got all the fucking answers. Absolutely not. But what I'm saying is we can find those answers. We can find them. And it's not the same answer for everybody.
And the fact that you said that's admirable, because you're not pretending to, you know, say, hey guys, you gotta do this and you gotta follow the rules directly and you gotta have bitches going in your DMs. You're not doing any of that. You're saying, look, and that's the way I say it. I'm like, yeah, I know I ain't shit. So if you want to tell me, oh, yo, you're doing this, I'm like, yo, I know my shit stink. Cause you know what? I wake up in the morning, I gotta figure out which hands I gotta wipe it with. All right. And I know you do the same too. So what the fuck? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So like, I like that. I respect that. Anything you gotta say, Anna?
No, I'm 100% with y'all.
Awesome. Well, it has been fantastic. We have learned a lot. Man. Like seriously, and first of all, I want to say 360 blessings. Hey, you guys show him some love. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of pretty much cojones, man, to be able to come here and say it in person. And think about it. He was not the only troll to do that, right? He was not the only Fresh and Fit fan member to do that. Other people sent the messages, but where were they? So I think we gotta start thinking about that, because all of them, they'll be in the comment sections, they'll be in the chat, but they're not gonna be here and say the exact same thing the 360 does. So shout out to the young brother, and he's doing this thing, and more success to you as an Ebo man, from one man to another, man. Seriously.
Yeah. And anybody out there that's still supporting the Fresh and Fit podcast, listen, just ask yourself some critical questions. Why is it that a sub that would send someone in her DM like that able to come on and apologize, but then Myron isn't able to tell his subs, yo, bro, don't be sending messages like that. That's whack. Don't even represent my podcast like that, sending people some type of, saying negative or hateful messages, bro. What that about? So I feel like, they gotta be a little bit more responsible. With giving some better direction to the people in the squads that are following them. The next thing I want to say is, one of the biggest things that I don't like about Myron is the ego. And I'm pointing that out because I'm not beating up on anybody. I'm using that as a segue to say to the men, to the fellas, drop the ego. Because D, you didn't say the nicest things about me in your coverage, right?
I did not.
But here's the thing though. Was I on my best behavior though?
No.
I wasn't. So what I'm trying to say is, you got to lose that motherfucking ego. Stop being so goddamn, sensitive and so defensive, and take the motherfucking criticism. Take the fucking criticism. Because if you don't, think about it, if you don't like the criticism, you don't want the criticism, or you don't appreciate the criticism, okay, don't be mad at the person that give it. Be mad at yourself that you put yourself in a position where it could be given. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you presenting yourself in a way where that criticism couldn't even be given, then you couldn't even get mad at it. You would just laugh at it and be like, that's not accurate. So what I'm saying is that in this space, when it comes to men, right? Because what you did, it's not that or what you said, it's not that, he's a right to his opinion. All right. You have a responsibility to give your opinion. And the reason
and I'm gonna go even further right now, because I want to make sure. The reason why I said that is because, like I said, your breakdown, I loved it, right? And then in your breakdown, you also said you want to be able to lead some of these men too and be able to step up. That's why I was very straight with that criticism, because it's like, and I'm glad you actually did that. You came here and you were like, I own up to it. I acted and I did the way I did, because this is the kind of leadership that we do need. Men who are not afraid to say, hey, I fucked up. And you know what? That's on me, but let's figure out how we can move about it.
And I might not have known that, or whoever might not have known that, if we're not policing each other. So that's why I say it's a responsibility. Because if we don't check each other and it goes unchecked,
we have Fresh and Fit podcasts. We'll have a bunch of these guys running around.
Dude,
speaking of which, okay, I know. I'm like drowning out here, but I want to ask this one question, final question. I want to ask it to you, Allende. All right. What is the future of these guys? What do you think is the future of these people? I don't think they have much longer. O'Shea Duke came out and said, hey, y'all are excommunicado from the manosphere. It's done.
Well, listen, let me tell you something. They're going to be around as long as they want to be around. That's just a fact.
You don't think they're going to do something to implode it?
No, I absolutely not. What I think is going to happen is the growth is going to slow down dramatically. And they're going to be limited to only a very, very certain type of demographic. And if they want to stay in the game and stay at the bottom of the barrel, like for example, if you're selling crack, it don't matter how much of a piece of shit you are. It doesn't matter how fucked up your business practices are. It don't matter how you treat your coworkers or treat your friends or your family or your motherfucking mailman. It don't matter. If you want to keep on selling crack, you can keep on selling crack forever. But guess what? You ain't never ever gonna sell Adderall. You ain't never ever gonna sell any fucking high quality, drug or medication. Nope, you're gonna be stuck there selling the crackheads. So if you want to continue with the Fresh and Fit podcast, go ahead. But you're only going to get the same low quality type of motherfucking stuff. So if that's what you want to do, that's what you do. And ain't no quality bras going to come on there because they're going to say, not with the reputation y'all niggas have. So you can go ahead and get your chicks missing teeth. You can go ahead and get your fat bras that need the attention. You understand what I'm saying?
That's facts.
You're going to keep on getting women, but they're going to be women that are like, you know what I'm saying? Listen, let me tell you something. He had some chick up on there some Arab chick. I met her a couple of times, but I never personally booked her because every time I tried to get her on, she flicked. And she don't look in person how she look on her damn Instagram pictures. Now he got these two chicks corroborating some story about I creep out broads. And the white chick, I never fucking was in the same room with that broad. I've seen her on the podcast and they keep recycling her chumby ass, but I never met her. I never was around her in the same room with her, but yet she had the nerve to say, yeah, he's like that. I witnessed it myself. I'm like, God damn. So you mean to tell me you gonna reduce yourself to the type of woman that would lie for you? Ugh, that's the type of chicks you stuck with, the type of chick that you like, hey, say this about him for me. And it's like, ugh. So you surround yourself around a bunch of people that will lie with you and for you. That's fucking pathetic. So
that's
you don't
crazy.
have no damn scruples or any type of integrity, and you surrounding yourself by a bunch of also low quality people. So no quality guests are going to want to go on Fresh and Fit's podcast anymore. So the quality of everything's going to drop. The quality of female guests, drop. The quality of the male guests, drop. You see what I'm saying? Quality of subs, drop.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have the best damn studio and the worst everything else. So knock yourself out if that's what you want to do. You got the Arab chick on there talking about I creep girls out. Man, I ran into that chick at Stunt's crib and I was disgusted because she had dirt under her fingernails. I was like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck was you scratching? So it's like, listen, let me tell you something. That blows my mind. Listen, I don't even want to see a dude with dirt under his fingernails. Like Janet Jackson said in motherfucking Poetic Justice, boy, clean your fingernails. So listen, hey, the quality is just gonna keep on dropping. Look at the quality. Look at the quality of the podcast. Look at the quality of the podcast. Look at the quality. Look at the quality. Look at the quality. You are the best equipment in the best studio with the worst.
Oh no!
What a waste! What a waste!
And
then you're gonna be hating on my channel talking about, oh, look at the production quality and look at the editing, bitch, but look at the content though.
It's the glitz and glamour, and that's what people don't get, man. As long as what you're preaching is good, you're not gonna need, like you said, you're not gonna need the crutch like the women, the $200,000 studio that you got going on. You're not gonna need all that stuff. You're just gonna need the content. If the shit that you spit is fire, it's gonna get people's ears to listen. You're good, like real talk.
That's what I'm trying to say, bro. I don't care how nice the restaurant is and it serves fast food. What the fuck is going on? You got the nicest motherfucking restaurant and you serving motherfucking Wendy's 99-cent fucking burgers and shit. You got the dollar menu at the nicest restaurant. You got the nicest aesthetics in the restaurant. You got valet parking for the dollar menu, nigga.
No, man. I agree with that. That quality, man, especially knowing if you're sensible, knowing what you know now about what the hell is going on. I can't, like, you look at that. If I'm even going to watch the show, it's going to be for competition purposes at this point, bro.
Can I make a suggestion? What they should do? What they should do is,
we'll end on this note.
They should tear down all that goddamn Fresh and Fit marketing in the studio and start renting that shit out.
Huh. Okay.
Getting the real
hey, any y'all Fresh and Fit or Red Pill stands listening to this, you can take this back to your boss. Maybe he'll steal it from you.